Philippines, America's first taste of empire, became a stepping stone to the Far East. Any moral scruples about annexing territory was swept away by a fervor to colonize which was fashionable through much of the Western world. One thing was sure: American isolation was over. Triumphantly, the United States entered the 20th century, in which it would become deeply, dangerously, and even disastrously involved. General Emilio Aguinaldo, the Philippine leader.
And why has it taken so long for America to let us run our own affairs? You've set 1.5 million Cubans free. What about the 7 million of us? I was promised leadership of these islands by Commodore Dewey, speaking, as he said, for the United States. And he is a man of honor. What happened to that promise? To free the Philippines from Spanish rule. Freed us, Colonel. Or so your government said. Yet we are not free. We are your property to dispose of. What is so honorable about that? Where is the justice in that? That we are making a declaration of independence, if you wish. Your people might understand that. No, Colonel. I'm afraid you and I could go on all night without resolving the one unresolved problem. And that is what we each mean when we use the word free.
You are Corporal William Lewis Smith?
State whether or not you witnessed the water cure.
I did, sir.
On whom was it inflicted?
Upon the Presidente of the town and 2 of the native guards.
Describe what you saw.
Senator Beveridge, I remember every single minute of it. It's burned into me like a tattoo. The first I saw the Presidente, he was stripped. Nothing on but his hands. And his hands were tied behind him. Lieutenant Conger called for the water detail. 2 men went to their saddlebags and got 2 syringes with large bulbs and about 2 foot of common rubber hose, I should think. One hose was inserted in his mouth and the other up his nose. Then the contract doctor named Dr. Lyons said to get a pail of water. They started into the building with him, but Captain Glenn was there and he said, "No, this is good enough right here on the outside." So we all got a chance to witness it. And as the water didn't seem to have the desired effect, the doctor stood over him and said to get a cup of salt. It was thrown into the water, and after a while, he did disclose what they wanted.
Bishop Thoburn, you are a bishop in the Methodist Church.
Yes, sir.
Would you kindly state to the committee what your impressions were as to what is best for us to do there? The natives' capacity for self-good sort of thing.
Well, I think he is very defective in that point. He's a restless man. If a native government was set up in the Philippine Islands, it would be a crime. It would bring an awful state of affairs on the whole islands because it would throw them into utter anarchy.
Do you believe the Filipinos are equal as a race to the American people, the Anglo-Saxons?
No, they are not.
In intellectual and moral capacity?
No, they are not.
I will ask you then, aside from your sacred calling, if you believe, as a citizen, that a whole people, like the Filipinos, should be subjected to a different government from that which they might desire, without their consent and by force?
We have acted on that theory for 100 years with regard to the American Indians. That no matter what they wish or what government they desire, we will hold them by force.
You think we ought to apply the same doctrine to the Filipino?
Well, sir, he is like the Indian.
Thank you, Bishop. One more question, Bishop Thoburn. How long were you in the Philippines?
2 weeks, Senator.
Samuel Clemens, known as Mark Twain.
The nation is divided. Half patriots, half traitors. And no man can tell from which. When I said in public that if we continue to suppress the Filipinos, the American flag should have the white stripes painted black and the stars replaced by the skull and crossbones, a clergyman suggested that I should be dangling from a lamppost somewhere. He had nothing personally against me, of course.
I appeal from the millionaire and the boss and the wire puller and the manager to the statesman of the elder time, to Thomas Jefferson, who said, governments derive their just powers from the governed. And to Daniel Webster, who said, under our Constitution there can be no dependency. A nation cannot be happy but under a government of its own choice. Gentlemen, I appeal to you and to the President of the United States. There is only one way you must decide.